Blackburn
Enterprises.
All right. We got another interview. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Shatandra Dean.
Shatandra Dean, who goes by?
TimeFit524 on Instagram.
Okay. So who exactly is Time? Time Fit.
Time is more than just one thing.
Okay. So let's get into those things.
She can be whatever. I don't put myself in a box. I don't limit what I can do. Mm-hmm. So if I want to be a workout enthusiast, that's what I'll do that day.
Okay.
If I want to be revolutionary,
okay,
that's what I'll do that day.
All right.
There's no limitations. But, I am a mom first.
All right.
Family first always been my thing.
Shout out to the moms.
Shout out to the mothers, And then, after that, I graduated from Tennessee State.
All right, TSU.
So,
HBCU.
Yes, I was biology chemistry major. So
okay, sounds like you're a nerd. Go ahead.
A little bit. But, from there, I had a really interesting journey into becoming a cytogenetic technologist, which is a more specialized medical technologist.
Yeah, I can't even pronounce that, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so pretty much we just reanalyze constitutional diseases and oncology diseases. So if you have cancer, we tell you what kind.
Got you.
And if you have Down syndrome or you're a habitual aborter, if y'all trying to have kids and something's not, you constantly aborting your child, like there might be a genetic abnormality. So that's what I do for fun beyond, training and bodybuilding and such.
Okay, so let's get into this workout enthusiast.
Okay.
So what made you want to start working out?
So it started around when I was 15. My mother competed.
Oh, really? Okay.
She did. She did her first bodybuilding competition. She did Tennessee, the Mr. and Miss Tennessee.
Okay.
So, and she got first, and she made us eat some of those not
lovely
so
meals.
So me and my brother are like, well, we're not competing or whatever, but just kind of watching her journey, the fatigue. I'm sorry, Mom, I got to put you out there. But
put her on out there.
I got to put her out there. I remember her being so hangry one day. We pulled up to the Jack in the Box, and she smashed a hamburger like you wouldn't even believe.
I can believe it.
And I'm petty, so I'm in the back like, you ain't supposed to be eating that.
Look at you. It's always that one kid.
Yeah, I was like, cuz.
You was that kid.
I was that kid. I'm like, Mom, why you get so skinny? Like, Mom, what's going on? Like, I couldn't figure out like what was happening because nobody had done that.
Right.
In my, surroundings or whatever. So it was different,
So you got introduced to it early.
Very early. So, went through college, I was always kind of petite. I didn't really care about, having cuts and all those things. But,
right.
After I graduated and, met someone and, you get that relationship weight, gain some pounds.
That happy weight is what they say.
That happy weight, and then you realize, dang, like I'm a whole 20 pounds more. Like, so.
Shout out to the Quarantine 15.
Right. So my friend at that time was working with Omar.
Okay. Shout out to Omar.
Shout out to Omar. And she was like, he's really good, whatever. And I was like, no, you got abs and stuff. Okay, let me go see what he's talking
see what they're talking about.
And so from there, I ended up doing like marathons, half marathons. Those were like my goal settings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I ended up getting in like really, really good shape, like crazy. And then I got pregnant. I don't know if y'all remember we had that conversation one night when I was talking about how you get healthy. We was at Taya's house.
Okay, it's a throwback.
It's a throwback. Because I was like, I swear, like, because it makes sense scientifically. Your body's in a really healthy state. You're eating cleaner. You're working out more.
Right.
More fertile. Like, that may not be the case for everybody, but I know for me, even my cousin did the same thing. Like, never worked out ever, was having problems trying to conceive. She started training. Poof.
Okay.
Like, baby.
Okay, so that's the secret. Just in
That's
case
the
y'all,
secret.
just in case y'all need to know.
Workout, baby.
That's how it works out.
Yeah. That's my theory.
Right.
It's not proven. There's no journal.
Okay. No scientific evidence.
There's no scientific evidence, but
However,
I have a few testimonies from
Right.
some people. Like, yeah, I was around, working out more. So.
Okay, so you got pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
I got pregnant.
9 months, popped out the baby.
Yes, I ended up changing jobs, and then I was just like, man, like I was just unhappy. Like I had postpartum, and I was in denial about that because I'm strong-willed. I feel like I can just handle everything.
Well, I think within our community, I don't think that's something that's really talked about. Like high school, even like my early 20s, I don't ever really remember having a conversation about postpartum. Like,
yes.
So
And typically you won't, because everybody wants to feel so together and
right.
all the time. It's and I've never been a person that didn't really walk in her truth. Like I'm just like, you know what? I'm lying when I'm circling these happy faces and such.
Right.
So I started telling the truth, and I was just like, Doc, I don't know what's going on. I never. It was never that serious to where I was resenting my child.
Right.
But it was more so me. It was just, it's hard to explain. It was like a depression, but it was just like, you wasn't really inflicting it on anyone. You was just kind of sitting with yourself, kind of just like, I don't know. And then when you start looking at your body in the mirror, just as a woman and knowing where you were.
Right. And where you are now.
Trying to figure out how to get back there. So, instead of sitting in my doom and gloom, I was like, let me call Omar.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started training with him in his apartment. There was no room. It was
I remember those days.
There was no room. But you know what? He was like, okay, Tom, let's see where you at, I was nowhere. I was like, oh my God, like this used to be second nature.
All right, but now.
Yeah. He even would joke about like, yeah, I remember your stomach came through the door first. I'm like, see, that's not something you should say to somebody who you know what I'm saying? Luckily, I got a sense of humor. Ha ha.
Well, Omar's training methods could be a little bit unorthodox, to say the least.
I mean, really. But at that time, I had already lost the weight, so he held that in for later, I guess. So yeah, I would take my son. I wouldn't always have a babysitter, so he would sit in the little packet, like the little, what do you call it? I don't even know what you call the carrier. And I put him over to the side, and then training time.
Right.
So I didn't really try to make excuses like about, I don't have nobody to watch him. I'm like, cool. If I can bring him with me, then
you can get it done.
We can get this done.
Right.
Yeah. So, we did.
Right. So what's one of the things that you really enjoy about that, getting into shape or whatever?
Just the fact that it brought back confidence. It brought back energy. I had more energy to give my baby, you know? Because at first I was just kind of sitting there. And I was just kind of like, just sitting in my own stuff. When you're depressed and you're sad like that, you're not really hyped up to be energetic or do anything extra. You know, it honestly makes you want to eat more. I mean, it's a such thing as emotional eating. So I was doing a little bit of that, and and then to hear your significant other tell you, "Oh, you look fine, you look beautiful," and I'm just like. I'm looking at myself, and we're not agreeing.
Oh, no.
You know?
I don't think your mirror is saying the same thing my mirror is saying.
So, yeah, we went in agreement with that. It was just a lot of different things that took place at that time.
Right.
But I just know I needed something for myself.
Right.
So, and that's pretty much what happened.
And that's what working out gave you.
That's what working out gave me. It gave me me back. I got to redefine what I wanted to do, and I knew I enjoyed working out and training, even though that came with some strife.
Right.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it just for the sake of the challenge, not knowing what to expect, and then having somebody push you beyond what you felt you were incapable of doing.
Right. Speaking of getting pushed beyond what you thought you could do, we're about to go into another thing that you enjoy doing.
Okay.
All right, so speaking of getting pushed past your limits, you started competing professionally. So how did you start doing that?